Welcome back to Mr. Magazine, the place where fame meets reality and emotion takes the stage. If you love hearing the real stories behind the faces you see on screen, hit that like, subscribe, and join button to support us. Because today's story isn't just another celebrity headline, it's a confession that has shaken the Turkish media landscape and left millions re-examining what love, motherhood, and heartbreak truly mean. The media world trembled the moment actress Özge Yağız uttered a single, devastating sentence. "I had the baby so Gawkberg Deisi could come home, but..." Her voice broke before she could finish. Those words, suspended in air like a wound, were enough to send shockwaves across social media, sparking an avalanche of sympathy, debate, and heartbreak. In just a few seconds, the actress revealed more than years of speculation ever had. It wasn't a polished PR statement, nor a staged publicity stunt. It was a raw, trembling outpouring, an act of truth that peeled away the glittering veil of celebrity life and revealed the woman beneath, a new mother, a partner, and a human being caught between love and disillusionment. For years, Özge and Gawkberg Demirci were viewed as one of Turkish television's golden couples, partners in both career and affection, their chemistry on and off-screen the envy of fans. But behind the romantic image, something fragile had been quietly fracturing. The actress revealed that her decision to become a mother was intertwined with an aching hope, the hope that a new life could mend what had broken, that the miracle of a child might heal a love that had begun to drift. Her honesty shocked many, not because such feelings are rare, but because so few dare to admit them aloud. In her words, "My baby means the world to me, but I cannot pretend I didn't feel torn. I made this decision because of the things Gawkberg and I went through. I carry so many emotions inside me, I don't expect everyone to understand, but I needed to speak." That confession, voiced through tears, drew a line between the public myth of perfection and the private reality of two hearts trying to find each other again. In many ways, Özge's story speaks to a universal, silent dilemma, the belief that love can be repaired by sacrifice. Her decision, as she described it, was not driven by vanity or impulse, but by an almost desperate faith in emotional resurrection. She believed that bringing new life into the world could restore the rhythm that had once connected her and Gawkberg. Yet, as she later admitted, the reality of motherhood brought not only joy but also the confrontation of unhealed wounds. "Motherhood," she said, "teaches you how fragile love can be when it's forced to carry too much hope." The actress's words are the kind that echo beyond headlines, because they touch on something painfully familiar, the effort to keep love alive at any cost, even when the price is your own peace of mind. Within hours, Özge's emotional revelation became the top trending topic across Turkish social media. Fans flooded her pages with messages of compassion, admiration, and heartbreak. Some thanked her for her courage, saying she had put into words what countless women had felt but never voiced. Others, moved to tears, shared their own stories of emotional compromise and maternal struggle. But there were also those who wanted to know more. Who was Gawkberg in this story, the villain, the victim, or simply another human being lost in the same tangle of love and confusion? Close sources quickly told the media that Özge's confession wasn't a premeditated statement but an unguarded moment of emotional overflow, a truth that had been bottled up for far too long. The sincerity of that moment was unmistakable. There was no script, no agenda, just a woman speaking from the raw edges of her heart. Though Özge spoke in her own name, every word carried the shadow of Gawkberg Demirci. For him, the confession marked a turning point, not just in their relationship, but in how the public perceived them both. Fans began dissecting every post, every photograph, every silence. The couple, once celebrated as symbols of warmth and unity, suddenly stood at the center of a storm fueled by both empathy and speculation. Was this statement a plea for reconciliation or a final goodbye? The media couldn't decide, and neither, it seemed, could the audience that had loved them for so long. In the days that followed, many noted that Gawkberg's social media activity became almost non-existent. Whether out of respect or reflection, he chose silence, a silence that only amplified curiosity. When Özge spoke about her baby, her voice shifted from grief to reverence. She described her newborn as the miracle that redefined the meaning of love, yet she did not romanticize the experience. Motherhood, she explained, does not erase pain, it amplifies it in ways you never expect. I love my child endlessly, she said, but I also had to face my own emotional contradictions. I realized that motherhood doesn't just begin with birth, it begins the moment you confront your own truth. Her words resonated deeply with mothers across the world. They spoke not only of the beauty of motherhood but also of its solitude, the nights when joy and regret coexist, when tenderness meets exhaustion, and when every decision feels like both a victory and a loss. The actress's confession reignited a broader conversation about the emotional toll of fame. In a culture that expects public figures to embody perfection, Özge's vulnerability was almost revolutionary. She reminded the audience that celebrity lives, no matter how polished, are not immune to the chaos of love and the tremors of heartbreak. Her story exposed the double edge of visibility, how every emotion becomes a headline, every hesitation a rumor, and every tear an invitation for public judgment. People forget that we bleed the same way, she told the magazine quietly. Fame doesn't make you immune. It just makes your pain louder. In the weeks following her revelation, Özge Yağız reportedly took a step back from the cameras, focusing instead on her child and her own healing. Insiders describe her current state as one of cautious peace, a woman who has finally stopped pretending that everything is fine and has found solace in the honesty of imperfection. What began as a painful confession evolved into something bigger, a conversation about authenticity in a world addicted to facades. And perhaps that is why her words struck so many, because they felt like a mirror, held up not just to Gawkberg or to fame, but to everyone who has ever loved imperfectly. Mr. Magazine asks you, what do you think of Özge Yağız's confession? Was it an act of bravery or a cry for understanding? Do you believe love can truly be reborn through the act of becoming a parent, or are some emotional wounds beyond repair? Share your thoughts in the comments. We read every single one. And while you're here, hit that like, subscribe, and join button to help us keep uncovering the human stories behind the fame. At Mr. Magazine, we don't chase gossip, we listen to hearts. As the dust settles, one truth remains, Özge Yağız has reminded the world that behind every glamorous photograph is a heartbeat, sometimes steady, sometimes breaking. Her confession, raw and unedited, was not a scandal, it was a testament to how deeply people can love, hope, and hurt all at once. And as long as there are stories like hers, fragile, brave, and achingly real, Mr. Magazine will be here to tell them. Until next time, thank you for watching, thank you for feeling, and thank you for believing that truth still matters. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join our growing family, because here, every story has a soul.